So, welcome to my channel, Twin Flames Unite, and let's just see what duet the Twin Flames want to sing to each other. I'm walking on sunshine and don't it feel good? So each of them are feeling really good today, and yeah, they're walking on sunshine. So Sun is a very positive, it's the most positive card out of the entire deck. So what I want to do today is I'm going to do a random spread, right? For this feminine that I've got and this masculine. And the feminine is she's the equivalent of stuck in a tower, right? And she's waiting for her masculine. And oops, great. And okay, we'll call that the tower then. We'll call that the tower. And that's the tower. 4 of emotions. And she is like, when they first came across each other, they just had such a laugh, right? They just had such a laugh. That's what made them work so well together. They just had this amazing synergy, and they found that they had the same sense of humour, same crazy sense of humour. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do... Yeah, they both had the same kind of crazy sense of humour. And they missed that, you know, they really missed that. Because it was kind of what made it made them, I don't know, it just lifted them, you know what I mean? It just lifted them. They were on the same wavelength, and they were just in this kind of like place of they just got each other, you know, right from the start. They just got each other. I'll do one more. I think I'll do this one here. Right, okay. So I want to kind of bring that back, because that's what they miss. And the Divine Masculine's a bit depressed just now, and he needs his feminine to kind of lift him up a bit. So she's going to try her best to try and do that, because she feels he's quite kind of, he's a bit like this, okay? He's a bit kind of, he's like despairing and kind of like, look, see, they can't quite kiss. Look at that, they can't quite kiss. And they're both kind of, it's almost like they're both in this place where they just can't see that they are making the situation the way it is. Do you know what I mean? Like she's like, there's only 3 cups, where's my 4th cup? And then there it is, you know, you can see it between these 2 people, just nearly kissing. So it's like they're nearly in union, and it's it's kind of driving them both slightly mad. And right now we're in the full moon in Aries, so it's a pink moon, and it's so I've got my pink background because I don't really know a whole lot about the moon in Aries, but Aries tends to be, from memory, it tends to be quite well. This is a feisty little divine feminine we've got here. So I think it's a kind of feisty planet. That's how I think of it anyway. But even if it's not, that's what my energy picks up on. So, they basically suffer from ADHD. She suffers from ADHD M, and he suffers from ADHD F, which is attention dialed into her divine masculine, and he has attention dialed into her divine feminine, and it's got them both in this situation, sort of like they're both waiting for each other to come and rescue them from their tower that they've created themselves. And yeah, but she's kind of like, when's he gonna come? And she's like, and he's like, when's she gonna come? And so they're both in this same crazy place. So yeah, but she's got this big ego, and it keeps kicking off. So I'm going to see if I can get something on what's going on with her. She's waiting for God to take her ego away, because it just keeps on letting her down, and it stops her being perfect. So you see there, she's got the pink hair, and there's the moon. Look at that. So this is how she communicates. She communicates through the planets with her divine masculine. And look, see, there's her heart as well. And she's just like, she's trying to, like, that's her trying to get some privacy. She's got this big hood on, and she's holding it over, saying, maybe if I hide underneath here, nobody will see me, and I can just kind of do my thing without anybody noticing. Because she's used to doing what she does without being seen. She's used to hiding. And so she's trying to kind of create this little hood to hide under, to carry on doing what she always does anyway. But in finding her divine masculine, she's found a playmate, and she wants her playmate back, you know? She doesn't want them to be like this, you know, where everything's just so depressing. And she desperately wants to kiss him. She wants their lips to meet. That's what she's dreaming of, you know? That's as much as she can let herself dream of. Although she's got amazing manifestation powers, she doesn't want to abuse them. So she's kind of like holding this space, saying, "Do you want what I want?" You know. So let's look at some of these other ones. Ooh. Yeah, she's right on this edge. See there? She's right on this edge, and she's like, "Do I jump off and risk landing on these spiky things, or banging myself on the rock, or maybe I'll swish into the water and it'll just carry me?" But she's sort of like, she feels like she's sort of being pushed to this edge, and she's being told to push back, but it's huge. It's kind of too big. Whatever it is that's there is too big for her to push back on. So she's trying to work out what she can do, and she's like, "Can I escape from this?" And she can't quite work out where to go, but she's keeping it all under her hat. So she's got a hat on, so she's keeping it all under her hat while she's kind of in this place of like, what do I do? And I think both of them are feeling this like, what do I do kind of feeling. They're both in that place, and everybody's watching going, just jump, or just walk, just go back, or just push back, or just and it's kind of like she's looking out, going, where is my divine masculine? And he's kind of like doing this. They're kind of both doing the same. They're both in this, see, waiting. See, they're both in this state of waiting for each other. And oh my God, look, there's your feminine, right? This is the feminine who keeps kicking off, who's got this massive ego, and she keeps kicking off. And this is kind of, wow. I'm going to read up what the Ten of Voices are. Look at that image. That's really powerful. It's kind of like slicing through her, whatever it is. And that makes me think of these. Look, see? Whatever these are, they're like, that's them there, and good grief. And she's like, it's like she's impaled on them, isn't it? Let's have a look and see what that particular one means. Let's see, Ten of Voices. Let's see what that's saying, because that's not very funny. A painful truth or realization, despair, victimhood, being stabbed in the back, deception or betrayal, harsh endings, disillusion, seeing the world in a completely new way, an opportunity to begin anew, gashed simplicity. Ten of Voices knows that no matter how severe this wound will be, she will heal and become stronger. She knows that any backstabbing circumstances or illusions that she has missed along the way will dissipate and mend with this major ending. She's ready to heal, so she turns and faces the swords head on. And yes, as expected, this ending is difficult. There are moments when she wants to give up and wallow. All the poor me's in the universe come knocking at her door, and she sits bravely with this painful closure, reminding you to experience and release any hurt you're holding on to. Do not allow it to set to muscle memory, and avoid holding space for helplessness at this time. Allow your parts to be lovingly stitched back together, as they will elevate you to the top of your mountain, where any remaining voids will be filled with the opportunity for love. For healing comes, and at a cost, a soul sown stronger still. For healing comes, and all the loss gives strength and love and will. So she's got this sense that she's like, Are you ever going to show me love, or am I just setting myself up? See, look at all the fears. Look at all the fears she's got. Look at all that. See that? And it's like, there's the door. There's no actual building attached to it, but she's sort of like, look how contracted she is. That's amazing. And look at that, all the sort of 3 of Voices, 10 of Voices, 6 of Voices. So I'd say if these are voices, it's like she's crying out, and it's like, and then it's like, oh, that's your ego kicking off. So then she does a bit of a dance, and she's kind of like, communicating with her divine masculine, who's quite horny. He is quite horny, actually, and she's picking that up. But don't worry, because he's going to the gym to sort of build up his abs in preparation, and she's busy eating as much as she can, because she's making herself nice and soft, so he's got plenty to bounce off when he turns up. And then, oh yeah, look, see, here's the tower. Wow, look at that tower. Far out. Oof. It was actually an upside down tower, wasn't it? It was upside down. It came that way, didn't it? Wow. So what does an upside down tower mean? It's kind of like shaking it. It's like turning, like you're not stuck, it's like shaking it upside down, turning you around, saying, just get out the tower, That's like her ego, you know, ready to come crashing down. It's like, yeah, and she's sort of trapped in a threesome, if not a foursome. Yeah, and there's a lot of roses, you know, which are the beautiful love, the symbol of love, but also the thorns. Oh my goodness me. And yeah, she's drowning. She's just drowning in all this emotion for her divine masculine. And she hates being like, see, look at this. See that? Look at that. It's like a hanged man kind of energy, or hanged woman energy. And jeepers creepers. But then she's just walking on. She's like, you know what? I just can't do this anymore, babe. I love you. I want you. You know I want you. But she's like, I'm just going to walk across this really precarious swing bridge to my new life. And they're in this, you know, place of union. They've got this, you know, they're mirroring each other. They're in the same place. I wouldn't be at all surprised if the divine masculine has experienced the Ego the Hermit. Isn't that amazing? So I wouldn't be surprised at all if the divine masculine is in exactly the same place. Exactly the same place. And yeah, of this kind of like, it's like paralysis, you know, it's like a state of paralysis. See, there's no action. There's no action. Or if there is action, it's forced action. See that? She's like, what are you going to do now? So, wow, that is a mess. So yeah, so that's why, so when she's doing this out of no choice. She's not doing it because this is her heart's desire. She's doing it. She's like, I've got to move on now. You know, he's saying I've got to move on, and she's saying I've got to move on. And you know, it's like, am I going to see you in the next life? You know, or are you going to show up in this life? But who knows? Who knows? So let's have a look and see what other cards. Let's see if we can get more on. Gosh, I don't know if I want any more on any of these actually. Let's see if we can get more on the moving on. That's a bit more, slightly more positive. Very kind of. Let's keep that there. And we want one for the masculine as well. I want to have a little bit. That was kind of. I think the masculine is in the same place. But let's have a look. Let's see if we can get a card for the masculine. Oh no, we're getting lots of them. Hang on, this one here. My goodness me, there's a lot for the masculine. Yeah, he's strong. He's strong. Well, these came up the other time. These have come up in the past reading. They're not properly shuffled. Oh my God, look, it's the feminine with her Doc Marten boots on. There she is. So it's like, that's interesting. It's like if that's the divine masculine, it's like she's standing in the divine masculine's boots, and she's like, I'm waiting for you to start moving forwards. You know, like you've got the power to move forward. You've got the strength. See? So it's like she's waiting. She's looking down at these boots, these Doc Martens, and she's saying, I've got my roses, I'm ready. And when you're ready, start moving. And then it's like, meanwhile, I've got to just do my own thing, and I hope you don't mind. And he's like, yeah, please do your own thing. You're driving me mad. And she's still in this kind of like, she's trying to get the light to come through to the dark, you know? So she's trying to, it's like she's trying to hold back the dark, and so the light can pierce through. That's what it's like. But it's only a concept in the mind, you know, that there's dark and that there's light. I mean, there is dark. Dark is where there is no light. So she's trying to bring the light through to the darkness, rather than allow the darkness to become light. She's trying to be that gateway. That's what it is. Oh, this is about the gateway. Look, you see? That's why she's moving on. It's like, see, it's a gateway. It's like a doorway. She's moving on from everything that was, all the beauty and all the romance and everything. And she's just herself, and she's just taking the experience, and she's just moving forwards and saying, look, you know I love you. You know I waited for you. You know I had to carry on. You know you mean the world to me. You know how we communicate. And he's like juggling everything, which is too much, you know, too much for him. and she's like trying to get to him, and oh my goodness me. So let's see what we get from the Sacred Rebels. Let's see who they are in the Sacred Rebels cards. Let's see who. One card, please, Spirit, for this couple that sums them up. Who are they? I think it's going to be this one here. Trust yourself. So this is an acknowledgement. There's a lot going on. You know, there's just a lot. There's a lot of mental activities, a lot of transformation, a lot of change, a lot to try and kind of carry. You know, you know, and I think the feminine is as aware as the masculine of of just the sheer magnitude of what they're trying to carry, and all the movement and change, and you know, the kind of warrior, see the warrior that they've become through the journey, and they've got many people helping them. You know, they've got all these animals all helping them, and protecting them as well, and caring, and also they've got very clear intention of where they're heading as well. So, and they've also got the spirit coming in as well, like the angels, like the birds are like messengers from God kind of thing. And so, you know, they're they're not alone. You know, they're not alone. But they're having to listen to the voice inside that just says, "Trust yourself." You know, trust yourself. Sorry, this isn't very funny at all, is it? It was supposed to be funny. I'm trying to get back to the place where they had humor. You know, because they used to have such a laugh, this couple, and it's like, what happened? You know, they're just yeah. So let's just see if we can. Ooh, yeah, they're healing. Oh, there's been a lot to get over with, and there's been a lot of healing needed. And I guess that, you know, that's the stage that they're at. They're both at the stage of healing, and it's not a time for laughter yet, because healing can be very, you know, laughing is a very healing thing. You know, and let's just get a little bit more. I'm just going to put some upside down ones. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. Yeah, they're going through massive transformation. Oh my goodness me, more on trust. Yeah, okay. Right, we're going to try and put some upside down ones. No. That one's trying to come out. So that we can have some surprises. This one's trying to come out. This one's trying to come out. This one here. Okay. Okay. So here we've got they're learning to, yeah, this is an interesting image here. They're both learning to no matter how choppy the seas are, they can find the firm footing underfoot, you know, the rocks. They can find each rock to move in. They can find the trust. And you know, it's very choppy, and there's all these beautiful colours within the choppiness. Like, they've become so familiar with the choppiness and with the craziness that they're able to feel their way with their bare feet from rock to rock, and find the strength and the support that they need, whether that's from angels, from God, from, you know, the internet, whatever it is that they're needing. They're being led, they're being guided to it, and they're able to keep their head up and keep a fairly kind of neutral face. You know, they're not kind of leaping, but they're not still either. So they are actually moving, and probably moving towards each other as well. And you see here they are integrating. They've integrated their male and female within, and they've got the strength. You've got the symbol there of reunion, and then they've also got they've both got that strength inside to be able to fly and soar high, but also be on the ground and be material. And then there's the yin and yang, which is the ultimate sign of reunion for the divine masculine and divine feminine, and also just the darkness and the light, you know, coming together, and the acceptance of both, and not fighting either. So that's quite healthy, and that's quite healing as well. And then of course they're both been going through this massive transformation. Like, it's been like Phoenix. They see the Phoenix rising from the ashes, you know. It's been like, you will not continue the way you have been kind of energy. And it's taken both of them a lot of courage to push through, you know, to push through the rocks and reach for the light. and be who they are. And there's the two of them together. They've both gone through this journey together. And this is more the divine masculine. The divine feminine is more kind of like, she's more like a baby in this stuff. This is the masculine's department. He knows what he's doing, and she kind of has a trust in him and grows with him. But she's not as, I mean, she's not as good as him, and she's like, he thinks he's not enough, but he doesn't realize that she thinks she's not enough. So that again, they've got that same thing going on, and then they've really just having to learn to trust, again, this trust and trust yourself. Yeah, because they've got to fight for this love, because everything else is a compromise. Anything else they try and do, any efforts they make to try and move on, they can't. It's like they can't pretend it's not there. And yeah, it's like they've been together in the past, and so yeah, they know that they're designed to be together in this life as well. How they're going to do it, neither of them actually have a clue, but they're kind of, this is what they're having to do, is just trust and be open to, divine inspiration. Okay, let's look to see how they're feeling. Let's see how the divine masculine is feeling. Oh, yeah, he's randy. Enthusiasm for those who are weary or sluggish. Yeah. So I think maybe he feels a little bit more